Margaret retired at 62 with exactly what her advisor told her she needed. $800,000, a paid-off house, a pension of $600 a month, and a rule everyone has heard of. Take 4% out of your savings every year, and the math would carry her to 95. 2 years later, her portfolio was down almost $200,000. Not because she overspent, because the market had a bad start right when she stopped working. She called her advisor. He gave her the honest answer he didn't want to give. The rule she had built her retirement around was written in 1994. The world it was written for is gone. Today we draw out where the famous 4% rule came from, why smart researchers now think it lies to you, and the real number that keeps your money alive when the market decides to have a bad decade the week you retire. Every retirement conversation starts with the same sentence. Take 4% and you'll never run out. Nobody tells you where the number came from. It came from one guy, Bill Bengen. 1994. A California advisor tired of watching clients guess. He did something nobody had bothered to do. He took every 30-year retirement period in American history since 1926 and ran the same simulation on all of them. What withdrawal rate, adjusted for inflation every year, would survive even the worst 30-year stretch? His answer was 4.15%. He rounded it. The number became 4. 4% survived the Great Depression, the 70s inflation, 2008. It survived them all. Barely sometimes, but it survived. Only 3 things have changed since. The stock market got more expensive, bonds pay less, and people started living longer than the study assumed. The rule didn't die from bad math. It died from a world Bengen couldn't see coming. In 1994, the 10-year Treasury paid 7% a year, just for sitting there. Half of Bengen's portfolio was doing real work all by itself. Today, that same Treasury pays about 4%. Half of the portfolio has quietly stopped pulling its weight. The stock half has to work twice as hard. On top of that, stocks cost more per dollar of earnings than they did in '94. That doesn't mean crash tomorrow. It means realistic long-run returns are probably a point or two lower than the past century average. Morningstar re-ran Bengen's study in 2024. They didn't get 4. They got roughly 3.7. Sounds tiny. On an $800,000 portfolio, that gap is $2,400 a year. One trip, one worse Christmas. Forever. Over a 30-year retirement, more than $70,000 of spending, gone. There's a scarier crack. It has an ugly name, sequence of returns risk. Draw it out with 2 twins. Twin 1 retires at 60. The market gives him 15% a year for the first 5 years, then goes sideways. He takes 4% all the way. He dies at 90 with more money than he started with. Twin 2 retires the same day with the same portfolio and takes the same 4%. Except in his first 2 years, the market drops 30%. Then it recovers. Over the next 25 years, the twins earn the exact same total return. Twin 2 runs out of money at 79. Same starting balance, same rate, same long-run return. Completely different lives. All because the bad years happened at the beginning. When you're working, a crash is a sale. When you're retired, a crash is a bleed. The first 5 years of retirement are worth more to your final outcome than the last 20. So what should you actually withdraw? The honest answer isn't one number, it's 3. Aggressive, 4% flat. If the market cooperates, you die rich. If it has a bad opening, you might run down to 0 in your late 80s. Middle, 3.5%. This is where Morningstar landed. Survives basically every historical stretch, including 35-year retirements. On 800,000, that's 28,000 a year. Safe, 3%. What the extremely cautious researchers quietly use for themselves. Almost no chance of running out even in a 40-year retirement. 3% hurts. On $1 million, $30,000 a year, a normal salary. Most people who saved $1 million did not save planning to live like they had a normal salary. But this is the trade nobody puts on the poster. The higher you spend, the higher the chance of the phone call at 82 saying we ran out. There is a version that survives the trap. It's called Guardrails. You don't pick a rate and freeze it. You pick a rate, say 4%, and you pick a rule. Great market year? You can raise spending a little the next year. Bad year? Portfolio down 20% from its peak? You cut spending, not by a lot, 5 or 10%, until it recovers. Almost nobody does it, because retirement, in most people's minds, is supposed to stop being about money. But this is what turns 4% from a coin flip into a plan. Studies from Kitz's and others show that with a guardrail, most retirees can start around 4.5%, take small hits in bad years, and still not run out. Two Margarets, same starting portfolio. The one who does nothing goes broke at 89. The one who cut spending by 7% in the first bad year, one worse Christmas, one skipped trip, dies at 95 with money left. Same market, same math. One phone call to herself made at the right moment. So back to Margaret. Her advisor did not tell her to sell everything. He told her the honest version of the story I just told you. She cut her spending by 9% for 2 years, postponed Italy, kept her car another year, skipped one Christmas of expensive gifts and told her grandkids why. She was uncomfortable. She was not broke. 2 years later, the market came back. Her portfolio recovered most of what it had lost. She raised spending. She went to Italy the year after. Her advisor made one more change. He moved some savings into a very boring instrument, an inflation-protected treasury, whose payments legally rise with the cost of living. That now covers her rent, utilities, and groceries no matter what the market does. Everything else, trips, gifts, fun, comes from the flexible portfolio she can adjust when things get scary. She turned one big, scary number into 2 smaller, calmer ones, a floor she can't outlive, and a ceiling she can dial up or down. This is what retirement planning actually looks like in 2026. So here's the whole video in one line. The 4% rule was written for a world with 7% bonds and a 30-year retirement. That world is gone. The real number is closer to 3.5. The real plan is a guardrail. None of this means retirement is broken. It means the poster was. If you're planning yours, start with 3.5%. Build in a rule for cutting spending in a bad opening. Buy a boring floor for the bills you can't skip. And then live your life on the ceiling. Tell me below, what's your withdrawal number? 1. I'm using the classic 4%. 2. I've cut mine to 3.5 or 3. 3. I haven't done the math yet and this video just made me nervous. Drop a 1, 2, or 3. I read every one. And if this drawing helped, subscribe. New video every week. Same white background, same slow, honest math about money that already runs your life whether you notice it or not. See you next week.